Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm glad that I was able to finally make one of your committee meetings. My staff covers for me, but the Judiciary Committee meets exactly the same time. So we finished a little bit early today. I was glad to be here. Mr. Casper, I'm sorry I wasn't here to formally introduce you, but I heard your testimony. You did quite well. The reason I wanted to come and ask a question today is because I have great news. I wanted to report to the chairman and all who are in attendance here that we just got our utility bill at our home in Springfield, Illinois for the month of October. And I'm pleased to report you that we're not being charged for any electricity in the month of October. Good news. That saves us $100. How did we do that? We installed solar panels 2 months ago. We are now generating more electricity on my roof than we're using in my home. And I think it's a pretty good deal. And the Inflation Reduction Act extends the tax incentives to do this. So I think it's an investment that'll pay off even if I sell the home in the future. So I recently had a visit from the Illinois Farm Bureau. They come every year, very nice and cordial visit, talked about issues that they're facing. And I told them this story. And I asked one of the farmers there, or I asked the farmers in general, so what are you doing about solar panels? And one fellow said, well, I got a sad story to tell you. I have a hog operation with 3,600 head of hog, and I run fans 24/7 to keep them comfortable, and my electric bills go through the roof. I'm on an electric co-op in rural Illinois, and so I looked into solar, and the co-op reported to me that if they were to bring solar panels for net metering to his farm, that they would have to upgrade the utility service, the wires that are serving the farm. And since that would be just for him, they wouldn't ask the whole co-op membership to share in that expense. So he said, my hands are tied. I can't use solar panels for net metering in rural settings. And I think that raises an interesting question. If we know that as a country we're moving toward renewable and sustainable fuel energy, then why are we not thinking, as Franklin Roosevelt thought, about electric co-ops in general? Why aren't we thinking about the fact that we're going to be serving areas which may not be economic at the moment, but clearly are going to be in the future? That's led to the creation of the rural electric co-ops and the right result that served Arkansas and Michigan and Illinois and so many other states. Now, I get the economics of today. The question is, how can we change that economic decision by the co-op? Well, we provided $2 billion in the Inflation Reduction Act for the USDA REAP grant program that helps farmers pay for installing solar panels, but transmission lines were not covered. However, there's another provision in the bill that provides $9.7 billion to help rural electric co-ops build new power generation and transmission that achieve reductions in greenhouse gases. So my question to Mr. Casper and my challenge to the committee is, are we going to solve this problem? This farmer who wants to put in solar panels to defray the cost of his hog operation utility bills, is there a way to incentivize the co-ops to decide to upgrade their transmission lines? Would you apply for money under the act that we just passed, or do we have to think about a brand new approach?
That's a fantastic question. It's a challenge. I mean, we started building our lines in 1939, and so a lot of these particular operations, such as the one you're describing, is probably at the end of the line. And so excess generation that could be put back on the line when the fans aren't operating, for example, in the wintertime, we have to have access to be able to get that power out as well and to the load in and around the area. But to your point, though, grid modernization is what we need to be looking at because rural America, just like the water systems that you were referring to, are aging, and we need to provide incentives and put those in place. And we can work with your administration and the committee in providing options to be able to do that and be able to put into policy specifically. Because there's a lot of money.
And electric co-ops serve more than just farmers.
Yes.
They serve small businesses and even larger business within their service areas. And it seems to me that just like broadband, restricting the opportunity for energy savings is a disincentive to locate in those areas exactly the opposite of what we should have.